In this lesson, we're going to see how we can do post-production in ENSCAPE and also other software. So when we finish our rendering, whether it is a static image or an animation, we can proceed in adding and managing the different effects. So we saw that we have effects and parameters and tools that we can use directly into ENSCAPE. So we created various screenshots here using, for example, the depth of field. In the interior rendering, you can use lens effect or chromatic aberration. We can use fog and mist or other like bloom and glare effects. So we have part of effects. We can change the background. We saw that we have a set of different skies that we can change a background that we can use, but we can also see that we can do it also in a photo montage using Photoshop or other software. So we have a lot of different effects that we can create in ENSCAPE, but also color correction and so on. So we can edit our scene, manage our scene many different ways, but we can also export it and continue our work. And you can see here, these are different types of render elements that we can export in order to work in another software. So for example, also exporting with the alpha channel is gonna give us the possibility to change the background in whatever other application, or this is the alpha channel itself, which can be saved separate from the image. And also I can save the depth of field so that I can change the focus and defocus of my rendering in a video, for example, like After Effects. Or we can export all the different colors for each single material and for each single object so that we can quickly select what we want. And again, in Photoshop, After Effects, Premiere Pro, there are a lot of software out there. So this is again like an exterior and an interior example of how we can save in different colors to quickly select and manage a particular object or a particular material or the entire alpha channel. Or we can see here the image in JPEG, which is a really simple image right here, which is using HDRI and image-based lighting, which is another feature that we're gonna see in this lesson. Just as we can manage and edit static images or screenshots, like the one that we saw, we can also do it with animation. Well, in that case, we just need a different software which is capable to handle animation. So in the previous video, we saw again how we can create really fast and simple animation with ENSCAPE. It's an excellent tool and really easy to use, but we cannot create every effect, every things that we have in mind here. So we can animate like the sun, and we can animate cameras, we can animate some effects. This is kind of a time-lapse effect right here, which is really nice. And we can animate the depth of field, the focus, and out of focus parts of our shot. But again, we don't have like the full tool set to create whatever we want in animation, like video effects and so on. So I'm gonna give you some suggestions. So in the previous video, we talked about animation. We're just gonna do a quick overview here of various software that can help you to get that extra step to proceed in something else more complex and more like also professional in some cases. So you can see here, this is Lumion. It has a lot of animation tools, and it can also add a lot of effects like snow and rain, and also a lot of vegetation and surroundings, props, assets. It has a huge library of assets that you can use. Also, Twinmotion is going to be good for simple animations, and also here you will have like animated people and cars and things like that. Now, if you want to proceed, also you can create complex scenes and complex animation and video effects using Blender 2D and 3D, using also Cinema 4D, 3ds Max. You have a lot of option there. And also if you want interaction together with animation, you can use Unreal Engine. So you can create interactive application or Unity. Now, for the video, you can do video montage with Premiere Pro. You you can also use Shotcut, which is the free alternative open source to Premiere Pro. You will find all these video courses in the channel, by the way, or if you're interested, just write your comments, write your questions, suggestions, and so on, or ask for assistance in the comments. After Effects to create effects and also Nuke can be used to manage the videos that you create from SketchUp. So to create a montage and to create also additional effects. Now in this video here, in this lesson, I'm just going to show you how you can edit a static image, a static rendering, but it's pretty much the same thing. So it just changes the way you're not going to work on one single frame. You're going to work with all the frames that are in the video. So let's get started here. And first thing I want to do is I want to edit the background. Now we already saw that we can go in the Sky tab into the visual settings. And here we can place, for example, a white ground or a white background. So everything gets total white. Now for an interior, this could be good because when I adjust the exposure for an interior, usually I cannot see what's outside because it's too bright. So this could be just the solution for this, but I can also change this and use desert and forest. So you can see I have a bunch of different backgrounds that I can use. So mountains and so on. And this quickly changes the surrounding of my scene. White hues, white ground. So maybe this is kind of a town or urban setup. Okay. And then you can adjust the background image using rotation. So I can place perhaps another part that I like the most. So the first thing you can do with the sky is to change the background, affect the background. You can also affect the moon size, but right now we don't have a moon. So we can then address the sky. We can add the clouds, density, and all those things that we already saw. So this is the first thing you can do to do like a photo montage or to add a background. But you can also select something customized. And in that case, we want to go here to Skybox. Now, if you don't want to save the background because you want to change it later on, you can either set this to clear, to white background, whatever, but the most important thing is here in the output panel that we're also going to talk about in this lesson and also in the next lesson, because this is like the final step before you actually get into your final results. So it's really important here to define a lot of things that we're going to explain, but I just want to show you the alpha channel first. So when you don't want the background of your image, so whether it's white or it's the desert or mountains or whatever, you just need to go here and say save as PNG first, because if you save in JPEG, it's not gonna contain the alpha channel. For the alpha channel, you need target file or PNG, but PNG is most popular. And then you need to click on apply alpha channel. Now, if you want to save your image in a default folder, you can click here and select the folder that you want to use for this project. So I want to use this one here, which is screenshots. And also you can use automatic naming if you want. Now you can see we find here some settings we already talked about, like the compression quality for the video in this case. So when you export a video, you can choose here the compression, could be lossless. If you want to edit the video in another software like After Effects or Premiere Pro or Nuke or whatever video editor out there, well, in that case, probably you want to do lossless because you will compress and do everything else when you are in a video editing software. So this is going to export in the best quality so that you can continue to work at the best quality in other software. But for example,